we see that across the world, all other markets are doing much better. And but there is still some pessimism. The customers are still buying hand to mouth. The brands are not stocking fully. So we think that still that part of optimism story is still to play out, which I think might come, maybe in the second half of this year.
Understood. Okay. Yeah, so that's it from my side. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ketan Chheda, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you for the opportunity. Based on your outlook, would you be able to give a range of top line and margins? Would that be possible? Not a guidance, but some sort of an outlook I'm looking for.
See, our top line, we think, because we are not, we don't have any capacity coming in next 6 to 8 months at least. So I think our first half, we are looking at a revenue of around 1,200 crores, plus minus 3% of any change in prices. The volume will be the same. About the earnings, I think we should be doing better than what we have done in last quarter. So that's what I can tell you for next 6 months.
Okay. So just a follow-up on the margins. So in the last 3 quarters, that is September, December, and March ending, we've seen there is a kind of a trend wherein the margins are slowly inching up. So you are expecting the margins would further keep inching up for the next couple of quarters? Is that what you're indicating?
Yes, we believe so. We believe so. In next, we see our optimum margins, what we feel as an industry is, 15 to 16% for a standalone young company like us. So we expect in, slowly and steadily we can get there. So let's see. So we see some improvement in this quarter and these 2 quarters. And going forward, if the demand scenario, things can even get better.
Okay. And one clarification, I think to one of the previous participants' question, you responded about acquisition. I think probably I missed your comments about the acquisition. Could you just clarify that again? Are you planning for an acquisition, or are you planning for a brownfield or a greenfield capacity addition?
No. I think he just misquoted. So no acquisition. So we are not looking at any acquisition at all. We are just looking at brownfield expansion in form.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. These are all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Priyanshi Sharma, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. So my question is to the CFO. So our working capital seems to have increased a bit. Can you guide us what happened this year?
Increase in working capital was due to the purchase of the cotton, because cotton is being a seasonal commodity. Major utilization for the working capital was in that.
Okay. Sir, and can you guide on we are holding as much as twice the inventory as compared to last year. So is it an intentional decision looking at the cotton prices or some order-related decision?
So, ma'am, I'll answer that. Ma'am, last year we were a little slow on procurement because of Indian prices being too high as compared to the world. We didn't see any, and the farmers were holding back the cotton. So we saw a different trend this year. So we took a decision looking at the quality and the better quality we were getting in those months, and looking at the spread between international prices and Indian prices. We saw it judicious to stock a little bit extra this year.
Okay, fair enough. So, can you throw some light on the nature of our debt? Like, what is our debt repayment schedule looking for the next year, that is FY25?
Ma'am, I think we just answered that question, so I'll answer it again. It's our long-term debt repayment schedule for this year is about 55 crore. And working capital, of course, it moves as our inventory moves. And we expect our short-term debt to come down to about 100 crores in next 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
From 450 crores.
Yeah. Okay. So my second question is, some of the reports by rating agencies suggest that there's margin expansion possibilities for spinners in the coming financial year. So what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you see some margin improvement trend to continue?
We are already seeing that, man. Like, if you see in our last 2-3 quarters, our margins have improved. From last quarter, I think we have gone up by almost 200 basis points. And we this year also, because last year overall margins were very low, around 9.5%. So we are seeing for the first half, these margins to be better, definitely better than that. So we concur with the assessment by the analyst.
Mm-hmm. So a follow-up question to this, like, how much time it will take us to achieve the EBITDA margin of 12 to 13% as per the previous management guidance?
Let's see, we are at 11% right now, so there is not much room left. So hopefully, if everything goes well, we might do it this quarter.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That's all from my side.
Thank you. A reminder to all participants, you may press star and 1 to ask question. The next question is from the line of Aman Marchuria from Augmenta Asset Management Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, currently, if we are seeing the cotton yarn spreads are at around 95 to 100 rupees per kg. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, sir, just wanted to understand, where are we? Because last quarter, as you mentioned, the spreads were around 120 rupees per kg. And given that in FY22, when the cycle was very good for the spinners, wherein we got around upwards of 20% EBITDA margin. So what spread we were operating back then? And also, can we highlight about the cotton yarn spreads currently?
So that time, I just have my 22-23 numbers with me. So that time, the spreads were at around 161. I don't know, we just have to make sure that we are talking about the same levels when we're talking about spreads, because some people take it as a clean cost, some people take it as a raw cotton cost. So these are spreads with raw cotton. So that time we were working at 161, and right now the spreads are, I think, around 124, 125. So of course the spreads are way down from that time.
Okay. So, sir, currently what we have seen is that, up till last year, the cotton prices were inflated to the tune of like around 1 lakh rupees per candy, and now the cotton prices have come down to around 57,000 rupees per candy, and within the spreads are good. So, what has changed? Like, for example, we know the cotton prices have corrected a lot. So, how are we seeing the yarn market going forward? Because the difference between the US cotton and the Indian cotton has also drastically come down, and we are exporting good amount of cotton also. So your overall view on the market, majorly the export market like Bangladesh and all?
So that's what I said before, that these benign cotton prices and overall a steady demand scenario, which has contributed to this better demand and better margins. So we see it playing out for a foreseeable future, because we don't see cotton prices to really, other than maybe 1 or 2 months spike in the year end, when the new crop is yet, in those times there can be a small spike, But we see more or less, these benign prices to go on. And we see, the demand, because low raw materials are always good for demand. The people, the risk attached to prices is less, and the customers who are committing to, they like to, fill up their pipelines, which are, have been totally empty for last 7-8 quarters because of elevated prices. But now I think customers are again have a confidence to fill up their pipelines, not to the extent we would want. I think there is still there is some kind of fear amongst the customers because of different wars going on, the geopolitical risks and all that. But we see, and of course the interest rates and dollar shortages in different countries are also cause of concern, and it has been like that for last 6 to 8 quarters. But in spite of all that, we see customers now believing in that okay, these prices are good and there's not much downside risk. So they are buying with more optimism now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That is helpful.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Meherwan Kotwal, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Just a couple of questions from my side. Firstly, we are covered for cotton for the next 6 months, as I was hearing in the commentary. Could you share what is the average buying price of this cotton, and how does that stack up with respect to the current market price of cotton?
We don't share we don't share this information, I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
And, so
but safe to assume it's lower than current prices?
Yes, it is.
Fine. Then, so the other question I just wanted to understand is that if you see on a sequential basis, our other expenses have come off a bit sharply. I think they were about 50 crores, they've come down to 42 crores. Are there any one-off items that basically has impacted this, and do we expect a further cool-off of other expenditure?
Other expenditure is other expenditure. Percentage terms, do you think? In percentage terms, it's almost as compared to the last year. CFO will answer that question.
Sure. Sir, if you see in percentage terms, it is almost the same.
Right.
As compared to the last year.
Sequentially. No, I'm saying sequentially.
What is the
sequentially, I think in terms of percentage also there would be a big drop, because from 49.5 crores come to 42.5 crores.
It's nothing. It's because of some provisioning in some quarters, because of some provisioning in other quarters.
Okay. So basically these are the kind of numbers we can expect in the quarters ahead.
It's nothing, no exceptional.
Because the quarter numbers are really balancing figures.
Correct.
See, we give in the notes to accounts also, the quarter numbers are always balancing figures.
Mm-hmm. I was also wondering finally that are we seeing a equally strong pickup even in the Bangladesh market as far as yarn goes, as Bangladesh is one of our biggest customers. Are we seeing traction in their businesses as well? Because I think there was a bit of a lull, there were some issues there. Have these got resolved, and are we seeing very good demand from Bangladesh emerging too?
So Bangladesh has been actually the brightest spot in last 6 months. So Bangladesh continues to buy very aggressively, and I think they have been the torch bearer for all the optimism most of the industry has. Domestic market is also doing okay, but in export markets, Bangladesh has been continuously importing a lot of yarn. And the growth, their export numbers are good, their growth numbers are good, and because of dollar shortages and all that, their spinning mills in that country are not doing that well. They are not working at full capacity, so we are seeing some spillover buying over that also. And so we continue to see, we think Bangladesh continues to do well.
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Those were questions from my side. All the best.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to all the participants that you may press star and one to ask question. The next question is from the line of Sanket Kapoor from Kapoor and Company. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity again, sir. When we look at our cash flow, we find that under the purchase of plant and equipment, we have spent 363 crore for FY23 and 105 crore for FY24. So how much would be, sir, the maintenance part and how much would be augmented to the new capacity that we have?
Maintenance part is mostly booked in capital. I think it is not capitalized. So I think most of it is related to the new investments only.
Okay. So in 2 years, we have spent around closer to 470 crore.
Yeah, because the new plants and the solar plants, they all came up during those years. So that's why we spent that kind of stuff.
Okay. And sir, what should be the asset turnover ratio?
It's 1.21 as of now, of this year.
Okay. And sir, going downstream towards, I think so, sir, if it is at the first stage, the margins expand once we are ahead towards the towards the forward integration. So, what's the thought process of the management going ahead, or we would like to specialize only in the yarn segment, and whatever the capacity addition or whatever further capex we may envisage will be directed towards only the yarn segment?
Sir, we keep on hearing this question every quarter, so our answer is the same, that we have different projects on our drawing board, and we being a 100% yarn company, we see a lot of potential within our business and right now for growth. So everything is on table, so we are looking at downstream also, but right now nothing is really concrete. But we are optimistic about the yarn business only as of now, and next expansion will be in yarn business only.
Okay. And also in the same geography, I think so we are concentrated in the state of Punjab.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right now.
We will be whatever is on the drawing board is particularly with the same geography only, or we can look for de-risking ourselves to a different location also.
So we are looking at both the options right now. Maybe the next one in Punjab only, and after that we are looking at options to moving geographically also.
Okay. Sir, can you explain to us the nature for this preference part of the story, and then when you look at the notes, they have been redeemed at a price of 90 rupees, at a premium of 90 rupees. That means 100 rupees has been paid at 5% non-convertible. So if you could explain the nature and how much is due out of it, or everything has been repaid, if you could just explain, sir.
So these were old equity which was pumped in by the promoters when the company needed it in I think in 2006-7, 10-11. So they were so I think how much of it is redeemed?
25 rupees premium was mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So that was according to the whatever the valuation was, which was done by the appropriate party, and how much of so there are.
Hello. Yeah.
So I think we have already redeemed around 30-35% of total potential shares. The rest we have not redeemed as of now, and we don't have any plans of redeeming them in next 2-3 years.
Correct. So for 2-3 years, we are not redeeming them. So, and how have the freight costs fared, sir? I think so we have 40% of our sales as export. So are we witnessing any escalation on the freight cost, or is it on a FOB basis, or who bears the freight? If you could outline.
It's the same. It's the same. The spreads are the same, whether if they are the same ballpark figures, a couple of rupees here and there. So most of our shipments are CIF basis, EFR basis. There are few in FOB also. So, and we see, in this quarter, export share might be, we see a trend of export going up a little in the current quarter.
Okay. And any particular geographies that we are concentrating where we will see the up and increase?
Our geography mix stays the same. So whichever countries we have been exporting in the recent past, the mix is almost the same this year, this quarter also.
And so on the client concentration mix, sir, out of the total client base, what do the top 10 contribute to our sales, both the domestic and export?
It's not very significant. I think the biggest customer will not be more than maybe 2-3% of our sales.
Okay, so it is very well diversified.
Yeah.
Correct, sir. Right, sir. Thank you for all the answers. So the last concluding point was that we are currently accruing the benefit of the entire expanded capacity, and for the first half we are looking at a top line closer to 1,200 crores plus minus 3% with improved spread on the yarn. That is what the sum and substance we can conclude.
Yeah, we hope for that. We are not giving any guidance. We think
ballpark numbers. It is not a guide. Depending upon the market condition and our procurement and the current price trend, we are penciling in these numbers.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the last question for the day. I would now like to hand the conference over to management for closing comments.
Thank you everyone to be a part of this call. We appreciate, and if you have any questions or any queries, you can direct it towards our company secretary or Dorian Capital. See you next quarter. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of SportKing India Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.